What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Dude Hine Show. Today is September 1st, 2021. This video, I want to continue my series of doing some record predictions for each NFL team. I recently finished one doing of the Minnesota Vikings, so make sure to check that out. And this is of the New England Patriots. And in case you haven't heard, yesterday it was announced, surprisingly, that the New England Patriots released Cam Newton. It's very, very surprising. I don't think anybody expected that to happen. I know some people might have thought that, maybe he wouldn't start week one, but the fact that they released him, they're giving, everything to Matt Jones right now. It's very interesting that Matt Jones is starting week one, especially that it's not even a competition anymore. Cam Newton is no longer with the Patriots. And it's very interesting because you look at this first game right here. They take on the Miami Dolphins. And this is actually, I don't know if you call this a, rematch or what. But, they take on the Miami Dolphins. And it's going to be Matt Jones against Tua Tagovailoa. And, Matt Jones was Tua's backup at Alabama for a couple of years. This is, a very interesting matchup here. Two former teammates battling out against each other in week one. Tua has a lot to prove with Miami. Matt Jones has, so much pressure on him right now. The fact that the New England Patriots believe in him so much. And, with you look at the Dolphins, I kind of mentioned in my video a day or so ago, I am not sold on Tua Tagovailoa. I think his inconsistency is a major issue for Miami. And I don't know how we're going to see Matt Jones. He's played pretty well in the preseason. And it's honestly crazy. He's played a lot better than people think, but it's actually going to notice because of some of these other rookies. But, I feel like this game, Matt Jones isn't going to need to, be all flashy, throw for 300 or 400 yards, anything like that. I feel like this, Patriots team is 100% different compared to last season. They have Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith. They have some nice guys on defense. They brought in Nelson Aguilar to beef up their, wide receiver position. They brought in Matthew Judon from the Baltimore Ravens. So, to me, this Patriots team has a lot to prove. I feel like this could possibly be a revenge tour type of season for New England. I have them winning here in week one against Miami. So, they start off 1-0 here. Week two, they go on the road to take on the New York Jets. The Jets are a team, in my opinion, who I don't think they're going to win many games, but I think they're going to be very competitive, and they're going to surprise people because how competitive they are. I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets maybe, almost beat the Patriots or almost beat the Bills. Wouldn't be surprised if the Jets even beat the Dolphins. But with the Jets, they have such a young team, and they have lots of potential, but, the injury bug is already killing them season. Vinny Curry was announced he was out for the year. Carl Lawson it was announced that he's out for the year as well. So some major blows for the Jets on the defensive line. But you look at Bill Belichick against rookies, he has made them look, silly to say the least. You look at last year specifically, the New England Patriots beat the LA Chargers last year 45-0. Justin Herbert was their best rookie quarterback we've ever seen last year, and he shut him out and beat him by over 40 points. Very, very impressive. I do not think that game gets talked about enough, in my opinion. But I'm not saying, this is going to be one of those 45-0 games. But don't be surprised if this, they have make it a long day for Zach Wilson. And also Zach Wilson against Matt Jones. That's going to be a lot of fun. 2 first-round quarterbacks. Jones was the 15th pick overall. Zach Wilson was the second. A lot of fun in that matchup. With the win, the Patriots moved to 2-0. Week 3, they host the New Orleans Saints, and this is just really weird, talking about the Saints, and I no longer have Drew Brees as their starting quarterback. He's done so much for their organization throughout the years, and, without him, in my opinion, you can make a case that the Saints are the worst franchise in NFL history if you take away Drew Brees and everything what he's done for the Saints. But, they have Jameis Winston as their starting quarterback, and very, very inconsistent. But I feel like, he has potential to be good in Sean Payton's offense. But I feel it's another one of those games where Belichick and the Patriots defense are going to cause some troubles for the opposing starting quarterback. I feel like the Patriots will win this one pretty comfortably here, and they start off 3-0 so far. Very, very solid start for the New England Patriots. Because you look at these teams, the first 3 games, only one made the playoffs, but I think these teams are better than people think the first couple weeks here. And then we have week 4. I would say it's the most anticipated regular season matchup, and I don't even know how long. The New England Patriots host Tom Brady. That's just really weird to say. Host Tom Brady and the defending champs in the Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Going to be so much fun to watch. Nobody could have ever thought this could have possibly happened. That Tom Brady would go to the Buccaneers, win the Super Bowl, and the following season play as an opponent in Gillette Stadium. This is going to be very interesting. I have the Patriots losing here, but the Patriots, they're going to give it 150%. They want to beat Brady so bad. How do you think Belichick feels and everything? Brady wanted to leave him. He went to Super Bowl his first year, and New England's unable to even go to the playoffs without him his first year. This is going to be a close game, in my opinion, much closer than people think. But it's just really too hard to, pick the Buccaneers here. Tampa Bay, I think will win this one, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. Week 5 at the Houston Texans. I have said this every single video for every single team. Every single team who plays the Houston Texans, that is 1,000,000,000% their easiest game on the schedule. I wouldn't be shocked if the Houston Texans finished 0-17. If you go back and watch my record prediction for the Houston Texans, I actually had them going 0-17. I know that sounds crazy, but if a team's going to do it, I think it's actually possible this year. They could make NFL history, but not in a good way. Super, super, super easy win for the Patriots. Wouldn't be surprised if they won by over 30 here in week 5. Week 6, they take on the Dallas Cowboys at home. This is a very interesting game. This could really go either way, in my opinion. The Cowboys are one of those teams who underachieve every single season, and they should really be a lot better than they actually are. They have a great offense, and Dak Prescott, Elliott, Gallup, Cooper, and CD Lamb. They have a nice offensive line as well. They really improved their defense this season. That was a major issue for them. They bring in Dan Quinn, the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. But I just think their offense will be a little too much to handle here for the New England Patriots, despite their nice signings in the offseason. I just think the Dallas Cowboys offense will be too much. With this loss, they drop to 4-2. Week 7, they host the New York Jets. I think this is going to be closer than people think. I had the Patriots winning, but I feel like, the second time around, Zach Wilson is going to kind of know what to expect from the New England Patriots a little bit more. Like I was saying, I think the Jets will be very competitive this season. Don't be surprised if this is maybe like a one-possession game, kind of take some people off guard a little bit. But I fully expect the New England Patriots to pull off the victory here in Week 7 to improve to 5-2 on the season. Week 8, they go on the road to take on the LA Chargers. Like I mentioned earlier, last season the Patriots took on the Chargers and they defeated them 45-0. That is just remarkable by New England's defense. To shut out the best rookie quarterback we've ever seen last season and put up over 40 points against them is absolutely incredible, especially if you look at the fact that the Patriots were not good this last season. I do not think this game will even be close to that scoring margin. I think this will be very close, but I have the Patriots winning here. I feel like, the Patriots, if they were able to beat the Chargers last season at 40 points, they have a completely different team and a billion times better team compared to last season. This will be a lot closer, maybe a 7-10 point game, something like that. But I have New England winning here against the Chargers to improve to 6-2 in the season. Week 9, I actually have them getting a loss here in a major, major upset. On the road against the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are one of my favorite teams heading into the season. Sam Darnold, he said he saw ghosts basically when he was playing against New England's defense a couple years ago. And, Sam Darnold, he did not have a good time with the New York Jets playing against the New England Patriots, but now he has weapons. He has a better offensive line than he had in New York. He has Terrace Marshall Jr., DJ Moore, who is tied for the most underrated receiver in the NFL today, Robbie Anderson, his former teammate in New York, and I would say the best running back in the NFL, Christian McCaffrey, led by an offensive genius in Joe Brady. I just really think, the Panthers will, catch the Patriots off guard here. This is actually a trap game because the following week the Patriots take on the Cleveland Browns, and that is one of those games you cannot take for granted type of deal. The Browns are going to be phenomenal. Maybe they look forward to this following week game by the Browns and not paying close attention to this nice Carolina team. Trap game here for the Patriots, losing to the Panthers. They go to 6-3 on a year so far. Speaking of the Browns game, it's a home game against Cleveland. I actually had them losing, despite me thinking the Patriots would be much better than people think. I just think the Browns' offense and even their defense would just be too much for the Patriots to handle. You look at their defense, the defensive line's great. I think Myles Garrett is going to maybe sack Matt Jones a couple of times, give him some trouble throughout the day, really pressure him a bit. And, with their offense, I feel like they're going to, run up quite a bit of points on the New England defense, which is lost here. They fall to 6-4 on the year. Week 11 in Atlanta, they get the victory here. I think this should be easy win. A Super Bowl rematch of a couple of years ago. Them trading away Julio to the Titans really hurt them. And, they're not going to be playoff contenders or anything like that. I would say they're going to be the worst team in our division in the NFC South. I think the Patriots win this one pretty easily here on Week 11 to improve to 7-4. Speaking of the Titans in the Julio trade, the Patriots play Tennessee the following week in Week 12, and they get a victory here. A very interesting game. They got Mike Vrabel. He used to play for Belichick in New England, and I feel like this game really could go either way. I think the Titans are a little bit overrated in my opinion. I think Ryan Tannehill is nothing more than a game manager. But this would be very interesting. They have a nice offense, a phenomenal run game in Derrick Henry, nice wide receiver duo in A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. Their defense is a major question mark. And, with that being a major question mark, that's kind of why I had the Patriots pulling off the victory here. I believe the Titans were last in sacks last season. They lost to Jadeveon Clowney. They do bring in Bud Dupree, but he's coming off a season-ending injury last season in Pittsburgh. But I have the Patriots winning here to improve to 8-4 on the year. Week 13 in Buffalo, they get the upset win, which is kind of weird because, when you say the Patriots beat the Bills, very, very, very rarely would you say that's an upset win. But in this case, it is. This being in Buffalo, I think the Patriots are capable of beating the Bills this season. I think the AFC East is closer than people think. I think the Bills will end up winning the division, but it's not a guarantee. I think it's a little closer, and it's going to be much more competitive than people think as well. But I think the Patriots defense will give Josh Allen some troubles. You look at prior to this past season, Josh Allen struggled quite a bit. Playing against the New England Patriots. I think he might struggle here, and the Patriots might be able to score a decent amount of points against the Buffalo Bills defense. With this win, they improved to 9-4 on the year. Week 14 is their bye week. Heading into the bye week, they are 9-4. That is absolutely phenomenal if you're a Patriots fan or the Patriots. 9-4 with a rookie quarterback. I think it's possible. Bill Belichick's the best coach in the NFL. I know he's not won a Super Bowl in a couple years, but it's hard to bet against Belichick, in my opinion. And I think they're capable of having a really, really nice season. Week 15 to go to Indianapolis to get another very, very impressive win against a nice Colts team. I think the Colts are one of those dark horse Super Bowl contenders that people are not talking about enough. They're phenomenal defense, phenomenal offensive line. Carson Wentz is due for a breakout year, in my opinion. They have a nice couple wide receivers. This really could go either way, in my opinion. I wouldn't be shocked if the Patriots ended up losing this one, but I feel like, they can maybe pull off the upset because, as much as I think Wentz will have a nice year, he's very inconsistent. I feel like this might be one of those games where, he does not play good. So the Patriots winning that one to improve to 10-4. Week 16, they host the Buffalo Bills and end up losing this one. I just do not see the Patriots, sweeping the Bills at all, in my opinion. I feel like this could go either way, but I just don't see the Patriots sweeping the Bills. If the Patriots end up winning the first meeting, I think the Bills will definitely end up winning the second meeting, or vice versa. But with that loss there, they dropped to 10-5. Week 17, they host the Jacksonville Jaguars in the first overall pick and Trevor Lawrence. If you look at rookie quarterbacks going against Bill Belichick, it is just absolutely incredible. Very, very, very rarely do you see a rookie quarterback beat a New England Patriots team led by Bill Belichick. It is nearly impossible to do. I think their defense will give Trevor Lawrence a very long day. I think this will be a pretty easy win for the New England Patriots, and with this win, they improve to 11-5. They finished off here in Week 18 to go on the road to take on the Miami Dolphins. I have them losing this game because you look at the last several years, it's very interesting. Aside from this past season, the Dolphins had 10 wins last year, but aside from that, the Dolphins haven't really been good. But the Patriots have really struggled at times playing against the Dolphins in Miami. I feel like it's just something, the pressure or what, or just something. I don't know what it is, but it's very interesting when you look at that. But with this loss here, they dropped to 11-6. And that is my record prediction for the New England Patriots is 11-6 in the season. I know that might be a little too high for some people, maybe too many wins, but I think Bill Belichick and the Patriots are capable of doing it, even with a rookie quarterback. And let's say if the Patriots get 11 wins, don't be surprised if Matt Jones maybe wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. My ceiling for the Patriots is 12-5. That is my best case scenario for them, which is basically just right around where I had their record prediction. And my floor for them is 8-9. Despite some of their fantastic free agent accusations in the offseason, I still think they really should be around that 500 mark or maybe a little bit higher. But this schedule is a little bit harder than people think. I mean, at Indianapolis, at Buffalo, some of these hard teams playing against Cleveland, playing against the Dallas Cowboys. The AFC East, in my opinion, is much harder than people think. Now, something interesting about the AFC East, every single starting quarterback right now in the AFC East is currently still on their rookie contract. I really think the AFC East is going to be one of those very competitive divisions and might be one of the better divisions in the NFL for the next couple of years. But 11-6 on this New England Patriots record prediction. Let me know in the comments if you think that's too many wins or not enough wins for the New England Patriots. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you all next time on the Sports 2 Hein Show.